Hi guys, it's Ray. You are coming into this as a cup in project, or cup in progress. I kind of changed my mind about what I was doing here. So I'm gonna go through what I've done so far and then what I'm doing next. So I have my bag of rhinestones. I took a slim can koozie from Hog. That's what this is. And I sanded it down really well. And I put a Lake Life decal on it that I started to fill in and around with my rhinestones. I decided to do the Lake Life in a lighter blue and then white at the bottom, kind of ombreing into the darker blue in a scatter method. So that's what I'm doing here. I have my Rhinestone Picker tool. The clear stones at the bottom were just one of these cheapy Amazon kits because I didn't have a solid backed clear. The dark blue at the top is from It's Pretty Personal. It's the H2O in mixed sizes. The lighter blue is their Blew Me Away. These are actually resin rhinestones, not glass, but they're fine mixed in together. And I decided I wanted to do a little bit of pink on the line, and I'm going to do the anchor in the pink, which is actually summer sunset in mixed sizes. So there's just a little bit of that on there. So that is all the stones I used. I just mixed the assorted sizes out of here into a baggie. And I'm using my Liquid Fusion in a small bottle. I did buy the gem tack. I have a small bottle of that too. I did use that, I think, somewhere down here. I was hoping it would make it easier for me to see. And it does, but it's white, so I can't see the lettering and stuff. So I went back to my Liquid Fusion for this one. Alright, so that's all of the tools for that. This is just a piece of permanent vinyl, but I decided I want to glitter the back because I just didn't want to do a full rhinestone. So I'm going to stop where I'm at with the rhinestones. I did tape off a straight edge roughly halfway. And I'm going to tape that a little bit more, and probably with a piece of paper just to protect the stones. Well, no, I don't need to put a piece of paper. Yes, I do, because I'm going to clear seal it. But I'll do that after. So actually, I don't need those yet. I'm alright, I promise. So what I do want to do is just put a little bit of tape on the inside rim and over the top rim. And I just paused to go grab a football to put this on. Taping this will be more important in the epoxy step. Not so much right now, but this is kind of an awkward thing to tape. When I do epoxy, I will dig out my electrical tape because that will work better at the top. But for this step, painter's tape is fine. These koozies have a bottle opener in the bottom, so they have a void in the bottom. Okay. So, let's set that down. Where's my little stand? Alright, so I'm going to use this It's Pretty Personal glitter, holographic glitter from the summer box called Long Time No See. Now I'm kind of looking at it like, oh, it's holographic. Should I do the Tack It method instead? If I did tack it, I would have to go out and spray paint it first, which will mean protecting the rest of it. I was going to do Mod Podge and glitter, but I think I'm going to do Tack It. So I'm going to tape off the side with a piece of paper to protect it. I'm going to find a blue similar to this, and I'm going to spray paint it, and then when the spray paint's dry, I'll be back and we'll do Tack It. Okay, so this is painted, and I'm going to get my Tack It applied. I'm going to use a soft brush. I'm going to do a coat, let it sit for about 10 minutes, do a second coat, and then I will come back in with my glitter. I know this isn't a perfect match, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, my Tack It is dry, so I'm just going to coat the whole thing. I think that'll be a good match. I think I went the right way. So I'm going to set that down a second. I'm going to clean up my excess. And I'm going to use a gloved hand to burnish this because I don't particularly love touching my glitter. And my hand was wet because I was doing dishes while I waited for this to dry. So I'm going to see if I can get this to lay down. So that is super gorgeous. Not exactly what I anticipated, probably because I did that light base. But definitely a beautiful, beautiful hollow. I'm not worried about, well, that's the tape. Never mind. I almost said something really stupid. So, I mean, surprise, surprise. I'm going to go ahead and peel these little skinny tapes off now. Because like I said, I am going to switch to electrical tape for my epoxy layer. That is really pretty. It pulls like all of the colors of the rhinestones, which is what I was thinking when I saw I pulled a holographic glitter. Shoo! I'm going to grab a little piece of paper towel. I'm going to grab my alcohol and just get a little bit. Whoops. And I'm just going to wipe that down. That'll lay anything else down and clean up any strays. I'm also going to wipe it over the area where my stones are going, just to try and get any of that off. I will come back in with a brush also. So I'm gonna just brush it, get any loose glitter back out of my stones. I'm going to, that was a powdered glove, so I'm going to rub my hand along here just to get any loose Mod Podge. Yeah. Tack it over and over off of there. And I am also going to clean up this edge. I'm going to get my epoxy mixed up. And I'm going to get this taped off. I'm getting powder from my glove on there that I don't want to do. Alright, so I'm going to grab my electrical tape. Alright, I got my tape. And if I can get it started, I'm going to tape right along the edge. If I have a little bit of overlap, it's okay because I'm going to rhinestone probably a little bit over the glitter anyways. Okay, so I'm going to get my epoxy mixed up and I will be right back. I'm probably not going to put this on a turner, depending on how thin my coat is. I may just let it hang on my drying rack and then come in and pull my resin off in like, or my tape off in like 45 minutes after I do that. Okay, so I am ready. I'm just gonna put a piece of paper underneath where I'm working so I don't get epoxy all over this surface if I drip. I'm just gonna dip my gloved finger in and give it a thin coat. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all 3 coats of epoxy because it's going to be the same over and over and over again. New tape every time because you do want to remove your tape. So that's where we're at so far. I'm going to let this dry. I'm probably going to come in and do some of the rhinestones for you as soon as this coat is dry, because I may not even wait for it to thoroughly dry. I can just hold it without touching it if it's tacky, because I do want to do a little bit of that on camera, but I don't want to do a ton of it on camera because it's hard for me to see and it's tedious. Okay, so my resin is still a little bit tacky, but I'm going to go ahead and move on with some of this. I'll just try not to touch my resin at all. So I'm going to get out my little trays. I'm going to get out each of my rhinestones. So these are all the ones I'm going to work with. My little picking tool, which I'm going to just kind of wipe off and bring back to a little bit of a point. So I'm going to open up my glue. I don't use the needle cap for the liquid fusion because it doesn't like to work very well through the needle cap. And like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of like around here. So you can see me use all of the colors. So I'm just going to spread a thinnish layer. I'm just using the tip to work it around. Okay. And I like to do the outer edges first. Not the outer edges, that was stupid. I like to do my colored pieces first. Jeez. And then fill in around them. These jelly rhinestones or resin rhinestones, whatever you want to call them, are a little bit difficult to see when they're right side up or upside down, especially as far away as I am standing from them at the moment. And I'm only going to do 1 row, even though the vinyl's a little bit wider than that. Some spots I did 1, some I did 2. It just kind of depends on this section of the cup I'm working on. But for the outside edge of the E, I'm going to do 2. So then I'm going to put 1 in this very corner to hold them in place somewhat. And I'm going to end up with piles of stones all over. Makes picking up a little bit more challenging. I lost one. But I'm going to start with one of the tiniest blues. Just put my finger in my glue. And yeah, you're just going to fill For my top rim, I did stick to one size to try and keep it somewhat uniform. Same with the bottom. You don't have to do it that way. That's just what I chose to do. And then I'm going to start filling in between them. These clear ones I have from Amazon had many, many more sizes. That's part of why I did start the ombre where I did, because it made it easier to fill in with these little tiny ones. And sometimes if you can't pick one up or flip it, you can just put a little dot on your picky end and use that. The other style of rhinestone trays with the grooves helps them turn over better, but I don't have any of those on hand, so. And for this edge, I'm going to fill with some white and add a couple of blues in here and there, but not go too far down with the blue. It is somewhat tedious, but this one's going pretty quickly. Okay, so now I have to do some of that pink. Well, it's a pink and orangey shift, really. So I'm going to do the smallest ones around this outer edge. I'm stuck to my finger. And then I'm going to move up to the next size for the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in around that with my clear. I'm going to work on the inside first. That'll help maintain my shape of my pink. Just went with the pink for that, just to give it a little something different, add a little color. I'm going to finish filling this. So I will be back and at least show you the finished product. Okay, so this is done. I did my next layers of epoxy and filled it in. So the back is just smooth and the front is the rhinestones. Hopefully in the light you can see the text for Lake Life. I am really pleased with it. This edge is a little more freeform than this edge, but they're both freeform. Like I said, I wasn't going for a super straight line. So, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a Hog 12-ounce skinny can cooler from Stainless Depot. This is how it came boxed. So, this one will get cleaned up and put back in the box. Cleaning these, and I don't know if everybody knows this or not, put a little dish soap on and use like a nail scrubby and just scrub up and down it. This will get in all of the cracks and crevices and nooks and crannies of your rhinestones. If you make these to sell, I'd actually suggest, if you can find nail brushes at the Dollar Tree, pick one up to go with your cup. And just include it right in with your care card, because people often ask how you get cleaned in and around here. So that's my advice there. Yeah, but that is it. I am really happy with this. I'm going to get this delivered to her this weekend, hopefully, and hopefully she loves it. So, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I will put the links to the assorted companies down below. It's Pretty Personal, It's Pretty Personal, It's Pretty Personal, It's Pretty Personal, and these were just Amazon and Stainless Depot. So, that's it. Thank you.